Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever it is for you today, and whatever the hell you've got in your mug, whether it be coffee, tea, whiskey, anything,
All of the
all of the
mentioned
above.
combined. That'd be pretty fucking weird, but hey, you do you.
Whatever and whenever the hell it is for you, welcome to Tales from the Mug. And we have a fresh story for you today, just like we do every day. And what is today's about?
It is from Kane T. It's called Mouse Full of Rain. Now, you might be confused, but don't worry. The first sentence will explain everything. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
As we promised yesterday, we have a frog story. And I guess, let's begin. First sentence. I didn't mean to create a frog cult.
Quite a first sentence.
How do you feel?
That's quite the hook.
Well, we are hooked.
I know.
Whether you like it or not. Here we go. I named the first one Cletus, after a guy my dad used to buy pills from.
Cool beans.
It felt right. Greasy name, like something that would survive the apocalypse by crawling into the crawl space and licking the mold off the copper pipes. Wow. That does sound like a Cletus, doesn't it?
That is so oddly specific and so accurate for some reason.
Do you know a Cletus has copper? Whatever. I'm not going over you. Cletus stared at me through the glass like he knew I was broken, like he approved. Dumpy tree frog, Latoria crurula. I might have said that wrong. I might have said it right. You know what? I'm going to deal with it. If you're trying to impress a vet tech, people call them dumpy. Like that's an insult. Like their weight's a problem. These frogs don't give a shit. They sag and spread and cling to your window like a melted scoop of pistachio ice cream with eyes. Yeah, that's what frogs look like pretty much.
We're off to a great start.
You ever see something that's ugly and just feel better? All the time. Cuban tree frogs are already there. They came first. They get into your toilets and eat the local ones, and probably your happiness too. Nobody invited them, but they are winning. I thought, if Florida's going to be swallowed whole, maybe it should be by something with a face like Cletus. I didn't plan to breed them. One day I had a frog. A week later I had 2. Then 20. You know, after 20, you were like, yeah,
Yeah.
we have a problem.
After 2, I'd be like, we have a problem.
No, we didn't stop. But then the bathroom sounded like an alien set swamp. If the neighbors heard the noises, they never knocked. What were the noises? Oh, I don't want to
Why
know.
would your neighbors knock?
Florida people know when to look away. I was one croak away from an eviction. The tadpoles lived in takeout containers. The feeders looked over the cereal shelf. One morning I woke up with a frog on my eyelid, like a warning label that grew legs. That's when I realized I wasn't collecting them. They were multiplying through me, like I was just the host.
Maybe.
I think he realized before this point.
And this is no accident.
Sip and break, everybody. The table's loud, we know. Florida's already invasive. Hell, even the weather's invasive. The snowbirds are invasive. Half the plants are colonial holdovers. Every lizard looks like it escaped from a reptile expo and developed a nicotine addiction. Like evolution, just gave up halfway through. People come here to rot in peace. It's like the whole state is a hotbed for ecosystems. So I thought, if the apocalypse is already happening, why not curate it? If it's already broken, why not break it on purpose? Why not fill the cracks with something soft?
This is weird. This writing is, it's so descriptive and great, but like,
It's very unorthodox.
yeah.
Release Site 1 was behind a Wawa. That's like a gas station, quick trip. People don't know that. I brought a 5-gallon bucket full of juvenile frogs. Didn't bring a speech. I don't know what speech is, but we're fine. Just tilted the bucket and let them go. I picked a spot near a drainage canal where the ground squished like it was chewing, and the water smelled like rusted teeth. The frogs didn't rush out like a prison break. They just sat there. One blinked. One climbed up onto the lip of the bucket. It looked back at me like, "Are you sure?" Of course I wasn't sure, but I needed to believe in something. So I said, Go make Florida tolerable. What could go wrong? I didn't expect anyone to notice. I thought they vanished into the mole like everything else. But then I saw one at CVS, stuck to the red box machine like it was picking a movie. One sat in a broken bird bath behind a Walgreens like it was baptizing mosquitoes. I saw one perch on a shopping cart half sunk in a canal, riding the rusted skeleton of a corporate afterbirth. And I started thinking, maybe they're working. I started releasing more parking lots, hotel fountains, golf course ponds, behind dentist offices, under dumpsters, beside roadkill. Any place that felt forgotten or doomed. Church, but for frogs. I didn't leave notes. I didn't ask permission. Just showed up, let go, and moved on. Just tipped the buckets and watched them crawl out like tiny monks on a pilgrimage.
That's so funny.
They spread. Then people started noticing. Nope. I'd see them at night. One plastered to a bus stop ad for a lip filler, another watching traffic from the shadow of a Waffle House sign. They weren't hiding anymore. They were present, like mold with intent. I kept breeding. Fucking course you would. More than I could handle. Egg clutches stacking up in the fridge next to old yogurt, and nicotine patches.
Ew. Oh my God.
What the fuck? Feeder insects escaping into the vents. Tadpoles living in a mason jar on the toilet tank. The bathroom floor just squished. I stopped fighting it. I stopped going to work. I didn't have time. Didn't care. They needed me.
Oh my
I
God.
told myself this was fine. Necessary. Holy even. But something shifted. The new batch. They weren't like the old ones. One frog with too many toes. Another with a second sealed mouth under its chin. One blinked sideways and didn't stop blinking. And then, like it was trying to remember something it hadn't lived. One croaked. And I swear the window shook. The water smelled different. Thicker, like mildew and static electricity. I checked the pH, the ammonia, normal. But something was off. I started wearing gloves, but my skin still itched.
No shit, you're eating yogurt with frog eggs in it.
And nicotine patches. I started waking up congested, coughing out something translucent and green. I blamed it on the mold, but it wasn't the mold. Mold doesn't hum.
Oh
I
my
wore
God.
gloves, then I wore a mask, then I stopped caring. God, that makes fucking sense. One morning I woke up coughing and pulled a glump of green film out of my throat.
Ugh.
I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't want it on the record. One night I stood in front of the mirror and saw it. The skin behind my ears, softening, greening, like steamed spinach clinging to the bone. My pupils are wrong, whiter, like they've been soaking in something warm.
No. No. Please, no.
My body didn't hurt. That's what scared me. Change should feel like violence. This felt like surrender. It started with the throat. Not pain, not swelling, just pressure. A fullness, like a balloon inflating behind an Adam's apple. I'd be walking through the cereal aisle, and without meaning to, I let out this sound. Low, wet, guttural, a croak. But not ugly, not human either. It vibrated. Something in the store lights flickered. I looked around, ready to apologize, but no one was staring. Well, not exactly. A woman near the yogurt section turned. She blinked like she'd just come out of a dream, smiled at me, not the polite kind, the hungry kind. I croaked again. She dropped her basket.
What the fuck? What is happening?
It kept happening. I find myself alone in parts after dark, crouched, take that in, crouched near retention ponds, croaking into the still air, not calling for help, just calling, and they came. Women, dozens, some in heels, some barefoot, some in sundresses, other in work scrubs, drawn like moths to humidity. They walked slow, eyes wide, limbs loose. One knelt on the grass, palms flat to the mud. Another crouched beside her. Knee splayed, mouth slack, all of them watching me. Silent. Their pupils shimmered, swirled. No one spoke. But there was something in me now. Something broadcasting. The pheromones, maybe. The croaking? Sure. But it was more than that. It was the way I smelled like allergy and knew the names of every wet ditch in the county. It was the way I glowed under gas station lights. It was power, and I didn't need to understand to use it. Understand it to use it. What the fuck just happened? No, that's the end, by the way. But I don't know what the fuck just happened.
I'm like,
He became Frogman, and now can have any bitch he wants. So that's what happened. All the ladies love Frogman. Well, I'm sure y'all are confused which one we are, but that's good. It means the story did something to you.
I feel like my brain is skipping like a scratch CD.
I told y'all it was a frog story. I didn't tell you how deep it went, but it's a frog story.
I feel messed
Frogman
up.
story, maybe, but frog story.
I feel messed up.
Now you should. You'll be fine. But anyways, everybody, that was it for the Frogman. And again, you can find us on everything. Tales from the Mug. Instagram. ... everything. If you're watching the video, you can hear us on the audio. Everywhere there's podcasts. If you're listening to the audio, you can hear us on the video. And watch us on the video. On Spotify and YouTube's. And maybe a little bit of TikTok. That's fine. We'll get there one day.
We'll talk about it.
And that's it.
See ya.
Bye.